and welcome to a very special edition of Crafting with Nashies. Today we are going to make some lotion butter bars, perfect for the holiday season if you like to give out homemade gifts, or just if you're like me and your skin is suffering with this weather change. And don't worry, tomorrow we are back in the swing of things with our cooking video. All right, so let's start out with what butters we'll need. These are the ones I'm going to use. You can use any butters or oils that you like. I've got some hemp butter here, some jojoba butter. I also have some mango butter here, and I've got some candelilla wax, which it makes this vegan, so no beeswax needed. And here I have a couple of fragrance oils. I have Cashmere and Pear. If you wish to do close to the EOS Cashmere vanilla smell that has been trending lately, then grab yourself some vanilla fragrance oil, and that will make it pretty darn close. Not perfect, but good. Now, I also use rubbing alcohol to clean all my supplies here, which it's going to be a quarter cup of our butters and our candelilla wax. And then I have some teaspoons to measure out our fragrance oil. This is a melting pot. You can use a Pyrex if that's what you've got. We'll be submerging it in a pan of water that will be bubbling a little bit, kind of warm to melt our waxes. And then I have a mold here, which works out perfectly. It is spiders, which normally, that would be for the, Halloween season, but it's what I've got right now. Grab you just a regular one. You can use a silicone muffin tin or a regular muffin tin. That works just fine. But I clean all that stuff up with the alcohol just to make sure it is a sterile environment. All right, I'm going to take us over to the boil pot and we will get started with our lotion bars. All right, here in our pot, I have placed about a ½ inch to an inch of water. You don't want too much because these silicone pots do float, as you can see, which is why I have gone ahead and put in a quarter cup of our jojoba oil, which is a mixture of, or jojoba butter, which is a mixture of jojoba oil and some hydrogenated vegetable oil, which, by the way, is great for the skin. I swear, it's okay. Don't worry about that kind of thing. It's very nourishing. All of these butters have great ingredients for the skin, particularly during this extremely dry season here in the Northern Hemisphere, and I live in a place that doesn't have a lot of humidity. And everything I'm using in this video, plus the recipe, will be included in the description so that you can use different kinds of butters and things. All right, now we're going to come in with a quarter cup of our candelilla wax. I struggle with that word sometimes, candelilla. And here is the jojoba butter that I am using. And now I'm going to come in with and this is a quarter cup. That was a quarter cup of jojoba oil, jojoba butter, a quarter cup of the candelilla wax. We're going to come in with a quarter cup of our mango butter, and then a quarter cup of our hemp butter, which is hemp oil, and it is also includes cocoa butter in this particular one. It smells very, very nice. Now I've got my heat set to pretty low here. I started it up at 3. I may back it off to 2 here, but basically right now what we're going to do is just let all of this melt nicely together, nice and low and slow. We don't want to burn anything. That's why these silicone pots are so great. They work fantastic for the holiday season if you're a baker or you do anything like that for melting chocolate. It's really wonderful. And the most important part here is making sure that all of our tools are sterile. Like I said, I used the rubbing alcohol to make sure to disinfect everything after washing it with soap and water and making sure it was dry. And we also want to make sure not to get any water into this because it will be self-preserving. And you don't want to get any fragrance oils or any butters or waxes in anything that you cook in, which is why it's good to have these silicone things and use it specifically for skincare. I have one for baking. This one is for my skincare. And you don't want any of these butters to be washed down your sink. These butters or these waxes to be washed down your sink, not with hot water, not with anything. Once we pour this into the mold, what you'll want to do to get rid of the residue inside the pot is stick it up in the freezer if there's any left, and you can crack it out into your trash can and then proceed to wash it with warm soapy water. So I'll let you watch me melt this in fast motion until we get to the portion where we are going to add our fragrance oils. At this point, since all we have left to melt is the wax, I have turned up my heat to about 5 just so we can get that wax melting. And as soon as we do, we will add in our fragrance oils. Okay, everybody is melted. I turned it up to 5 until it was just bubbling, and then I cut back my heat again so that it wouldn't simmer too much and risk getting water in there, and just stir, stir, stir to get our wax to melt. And now I have turned off the heat, and I'm going to add in a half a teaspoon of this Cashmere fragrance oil, which is about 20 drops or so. It's about a half a teaspoon, and I'll show you the brand here. This smells amazing. I mean, for real. This is a beautiful cashmere scent. If you have, if you make your own candles, this would be a good one. If you have a wax warmer where you can add a little bit of fragrance oil to it, this would be a perfect one. It just is such a rich, just comforting, like being wrapped in a warm, fuzzy sweater kind of smell. Now, let me give this a sniff and see if that's enough. All right, that half a teaspoon was perfect. So what I'm going to do is pull this out because I want to do some just cashmere. And I'm going to wipe off the bottom, make sure nothing is wet, and we're going to go ahead and pour it into our molds. Then I'm going to put this back just to keep it warm while those are curing and add a little bit of that pear fragrance. Make sure to exercise caution with touching our pot because everything is very hot. I love that this has a pour spout and you can kind of squish it to adjust the size. And we are just going to go ahead and pour it right into our molds here. I suggest putting down some paper towels or something to kind of catch any overflow in case something happens there. Because you don't want any waxes or anything like that going through the laundry or down your sink. That is no bueno. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and place this back in our warm water while this cures. I'm actually going to let it set for just a second until I can handle it, and then I'm going to stick it in the refrigerator and cure it for, about 30 minutes, and then we'll pop them out and we will add the pear fragrance, which is going to be, again, about 1/4 teaspoon this time instead of a half a teaspoon. All right, I will see you guys in about a half an hour. All right, my other ones are ready. I'll show myself popping those out in just a second, but I have this still nice and warm. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add in about 10 drops of this pear. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm just going to give it a stir, and we will go over and we will switch out our lotion bar. All right, these cured. It was easy peasy. I'm going to show you, you just pop them right out like so and go fast into whatever you're going to store them into. Don't get your body heat on them because they will melt, but you can see how cute these come out. And again, you can use a muffin tin or any silicone mold that you want to. Something holiday themed would be good, particularly if you are going to give these as gifts. And I got some of this little extra. You see how these little dots here? I put some of that on my hand. It is a beautiful formula. It absorbs into the skin nicely. It would be perfect for keeping these in your bathroom in a covered, like sealed container, and using these after the shower. Just perfection for the dry skin season here. You can see they came out lovely. And I'm not going to clean this out or anything. I've got my, it smells so good with the pear in there. And I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing I did before. And pour this into our molds. And then we will have the cashmere and the cashmere pear. And this particular pear that I used is kind of an in-between a fresh Bartlett pear and kind of candy. It's that perfect, if you added like a caramel smell to it, it would be very holiday. But with the cashmere, it ends up being quite holiday itself. So this is a great way to make gifts for the holidays or for yourself. And I'm going to show you, see there's residue left in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put this up in the freezer so that all of this residue freezes and I can just crack it right into my garbage can and I don't have to worry about any of these oils or butters going down my drain and screwing things up, because we don't want that. And make sure if you have more than one of these to mark it that this is the one for skincare and skincare things. I'm going to go clean out a container to put these in, to showcase them, to give them as a gift, and I will see you back when we crack the pear ones out. All right, our second batch is nice and cured. I'm just going to go ahead and pop these out. But I wanted to show you, see, I have these little containers. They're very much like Lush containers. And I just took a pretty kitty sticker and put it on the top. And that's where I'm going to store these. And it's also perfect for gift giving. This is our pear one. Oh, it smells so beautiful with that cashmere, so warm. And I'm just going to put these to the side. I'll show you how I'm going to package them up, and I will also demonstrate how it goes on the skin. I had Papa Nashies test some for me, and he's not a big lotion fan because it can be quite greasy, but he loved the smell of the cashmere, and he really liked how with the Candelilla Wax, it coats your hands, but it leaves a non-greasy finish. It really is good. All right, so I've got my pear ones here, and we're just going to take them into our container. You can see how you can stack them up, just like so. And these take about 4, and again, I will put everything into the description. And then we just screw on the lid. Oop, nope. There's a, to keep it fresh. There we go. And we screw on the lid, and those will be our pear ones there with our cute little kitty. And then we will take another one here, and we'll put 4 of these in there. Like I said, you can use a holiday-themed silicone or whatever you wish, and these are perfect to give. As I was saying before I was so rudely cut off because my internal storage is full, these are wonderful to give as gifts, and like I said, they're non-greasy, perfect for after the shower, and they are really moisturizing, hydrating. They've got humectants in them. They've got great ingredients for your skin, and they leave a coating on there, so if you wash your hands, you'll actually still be moisturized. And here's our 2 different batches. They smell amazing. Thank you so much for joining me for today's edition of Crafting with Nashies. Everything will be in the description, including the recipe and all the things that I use. And I will see you tomorrow for Cooking with Nashies, Noshing with Nashies. All right, see you in the next one. Bye!